Chinese food penetrated most parts of the world. In this channel, we talk about American Chinese food, but it's also interesting to see how Chinese food evolves in other countries as well, like Peruvian Chinese food chifa or Japanese Chinese food chuka to appreciate the unique journey each took. I want to dedicate today's episode to the closure of the oldest operating Chinese restaurant in Japan, the Heichinrou location in Yokohama. Hi, my name is Christy, and this is the American Chinese Food Show. The port of Yokohama was opened to foreign countries in 1859 at the end of the Tokugawa shogunate, signifying the beginning of modern history of Japan. Chinese arriving in Japan from Hong Kong, Guangdong, or Shanghai were able to communicate in English and Japanese kanji, so they became an intermediary in the trade of raw silk and tea between the locals and the influx of foreigners. But over time, the advantage was eliminated, along with the occupational restrictions set for Chinese. The three typical occupations for overseas Chinese in Yokohama became what was called three knives: dressmaking, hairdressing, and cooking. In 1887, there were 10 Chinese restaurants in Yokohama Chinatown, and there are about 250 today. And one of them was Heichinrou, founded in 1884 by the Zhang family on the current site. It was a cigarette shop on the ground floor and a humble restaurant on the second floor at the beginning, but it slowly expanded. Heichinrou was unfortunately destroyed in 1923 by the Great Kanto earthquake, rebuilt by the second owner, and destroyed again by air raid in World War II, and rebuilt by the third owner. The restaurant witnessed the rise and fall of Yokohama Chinatown, and eventually had to close its doors. It was ordered by the Yokohama District Court in June 2022 to begin bankruptcy, with its debt estimated to exceed 300 million yen, about 2 million in US dollars. Heichinrou definitely left its mark in the culinary world in Japan. Sanman-men, a type of ramen noodles, was invented by the Grand Chef of Heichinrou around 1930. The soup base is made of shoyu, soy sauce, or shio, salt, with crunchy bean sprouts on top, with a lot of vegetables like cabbage, wood ear mushrooms, carrots, all together in a cornstarch slurry. The topping is almost reminiscent of American chop suey. Sanman-men is well loved till today in Yokohama. Heichinrou was also part of the infamous cook-off with Chef Chen Kenichi in the original TV show Iron Chef. Chen Kenichi defeated two of Heichinrou's head chefs before losing to the very famous Grand Chef, Xie Huaxian. Xie was also introduced on the show Yan Can Cook by the host Martin Yan as the greatest Chinese chef in our time. We have here a tasting menu with Grand Chef Xie, who left in 2009. There are classics like Buddha Jumps Over the Wall, Shanghainese Hairy Crab, and abalone. Before we dive into some menus of Heichinrou, I want to talk about the distinction between two Chinese cuisines in Japan. There is Chugoku ryuri, traditional Chinese cuisine, and Chuka ryuri, which is Japanese Chinese food, more equivalent to what we see with American Chinese food, invented and altered to cater to the local taste. We will talk more about Japanese Chinese food in a future episode. Heichinrou served what is considered traditional Chinese cuisine. I have here three set menus from 2016, 2019, and 2021. The 2016 menu has a 5-part appetizer, coral shark's fin soup with crab and crab rolls, red and white shrimps, Peking duck, a stir-fried vegetables with truffle oil, a steamed sea bream, and an egg fried rice with sakura shrimp, and a dessert of the day. The 2019 menu has a 4-part appetizer, shark's fin with dry scallop, same red and white shrimp, but no more Peking duck or sea bream. Instead, there's a steamed eggplant with squid and a vinegar spare ribs. The 2021 is down to a 3-part appetizer. Shark's fin soup is replaced with a corn soup. Seafood and meat dishes are replaced with something that is more Japanese Chinese food like chili shrimps and green pepper pork stir fry. You can see how the restaurant is going downhill in its operations, likely getting hit by the pandemic, running out of its usual group patrons like corporate luncheons. Nevertheless, the closing of Heichinrou is a huge loss, as the restaurant had been a part of the Yokohama Chinatown community for almost 140 years. Every New Year's Eve, in front of their restaurant, Heichinrou sold osechi, food that is enjoyed on New Year's Day in Japan, where an assortment of colorful dishes are packed together in special boxes. Japanese osechi has sweet rolled egg with fish cake, rolled kelpfish, shrimp, etc. Osechi offered by Heichinrou instead has abalone, char-siu, roasted duck, chili shrimp, jellyfish salad. But there's still the staple like black beans representing hard work and candied chestnuts symbolizing fortune and wealth at the upper right corner. Little did these people lined up know 2021 would be the last year. This is far from the end of Heichinrou in Japan though. A different company is managing other Heichinrou locations and continuing the business. Not only are there restaurants in multiple locations run by the Heichinrou Group, in the past years, the Heichinrou Group has developed a variety of food items that are more accessible for a wider audience, following the rise of food delivery services and shelter-in-place policies during the pandemic. They have a large offering of frozen food, convenient dim sum, seasonal and artisanal food items at large department stores and supermarkets. There's even a sponge cake dim sum dessert where you just need to add an egg and microwave. It's tempting to imagine American Chinese food going this modernizing direction as well in North America. But the industry is likely far too monotonous yet fractured to do so. Goodbye Heichinrou Yokohama. Thank you for serving the community for almost 140 years. If you like our content, subscribe to our channel. See you soon.